Hi, welcome to Learn to Thrive with ADHD. I'm Mande John. I'm an ADHD Life Coach. What we're talking about today are the thoughts that you're probably thinking that are making life harder. And what we're going to do is I'm going to give you some tools that you can use to turn those thoughts around a little bit. We never want to just jump into a new pretty thought. It doesn't work. I'll show you exactly what to do to work your way into that. I have made you a freebie this week, and the freebie is a thought download workbook and model practice. If you need more help with the model practice, at the end card, at the end of this video, you can just click on the video series for learning to coach yourself. And it'll take you right through how to do that model. If you still need more help after that, book a call with me. I have that service. You'll see a link in the description, or you can book a call anytime and we can get on the phone for 30 minutes and I can show you how to work on those models and we can do some coaching. I'm just going to check my notes and make sure I covered everything. I did. So first of all, what we're going to talk about is the thought download. To do a thought download, you can print the workbook, you can get out a notebook, you can do whatever works for you. I like to do mine every morning. It works best for me. You may have a different time of day that works better for you, but I will post my information that I have for that day, whether it's my blog post or posting a video or the freebie that's going to come out this week. I will post that information when I first wake up. And then next is my thought download, my coaching practice, my self-coaching practice, I should say. For about 5 to 10 minutes, you're going to just write down all your thoughts. Do not overcomplicate this. It's literally what you're thinking. What you're thinking might be at first, this is dumb. I don't want to write down my thoughts. That's okay. You write down anything that comes up and don't judge it. Don't think that you're being too negative or you're being too petty or whatever it might be. This is where you get to be as negative and as petty as you want to be. And it's best that you get that stuff on paper because then you can gain an awareness of it and then you can work on it. What I don't want you to do is get that stuff on paper and just start making it mean terrible things about you. There's nothing wrong with you. Those are simply the thoughts you're thinking, and that's okay. That's where we're at right now. If we don't know where we start, we don't know where to go. Okay? So write down those thoughts, whatever they may be. If you need to burn this afterwards, if you need to shred it, that's fine. It's not a problem. Tomorrow you're going to do a new thought download. The next day you're going to do a new one. You don't need to hang on to these forever. So if you need to write down something private, it's okay. Just destroy it when you're done. You don't need to worry that other people are going to see the inside of your head. So what we're going to do is capture these thoughts that are going on because whether you're hyperactive, whether you're inattentive, or whether you're combined, they agree that the reason they put us all under the same umbrella, which is now ADHD, I know people still talk a lot about ADD. If you are talking about ADD or have been diagnosed ADD, what you fall under is likely the inattentive. So it's all under the umbrella of ADHD now. And the reason we all fall under the same umbrella is because we are all basically hyperactive in our brains, even if you're inattentive or combined. So I'm hyperactive. What this process does, this thought download, is really slows everything down. And I'm having a hard time describing exactly, but what it seems to do is when I put these thoughts down, as I do my self-coaching, they're not going on a loop anymore. Some of them still will, right? And that's just more work you have to do. But I feel like there's less thoughts going on a loop. Therefore, I'm able to be more creative. I'm able to pay more attention. It just helps me in all these areas because there's not as much going on here. So you're going to take that thought download, write down for 5 to 10 minutes. We're going to capture those thoughts like we have a butterfly net. And what this is going to do is just give you an awareness of what's going on. And how are these thoughts making you feel? That's what, after you're done writing them all down, that's what you want to take a look at. How is that thought making you feel? One overall arching, and I think I've talked about this in videos before, but one kind of belief, and what is a belief? If you watch videos before from here, you know that a belief is a thought that we continue thinking over and over again, right? It just kind of digs a groove in our brain and it's just got its little pathway where it just keeps coming and coming. The one belief that I had was life is hard. It sounds simple, right? But what I did, and it kind of came from, I'll kind of give you the backstory, very well intended. I was taught to work hard and I took that too far. I did that, right? I was taught to work hard. I took it too far and made it mean that everything I did had to be hard. Now, adding to that I had ADHD, and something that I used to say all the time was everything's harder for me. So if we were learning dance steps in PE, I noticed, and this is just for me, this may not be your issue, but you have an issue similar to this somewhere in your life if you're watching this likely. But I noticed that a lot of the other people would pick it up first time, second time, third time. By the third time, pretty much everybody had it, and I'm still confused. Like, how do they know? How do they know what comes in the 8th step? I don't understand. Because once I got past, excuse my alarm, once I got past, the 3rd step, I was lost. And so what is my point to that story? I had an underlying belief that everything was hard, and that was my evidence of it. It's one that my brain just kind of goes back to, and I remember being in that PE class and just not understanding what was wrong with me, that everybody else was able to pick this up so quickly. And it was just a series of steps. What was happening is there was too many steps. My brain shut off after that many steps. Another thing, I always go back to high school because that was kind of like the struggle, right? Algebra. Being taught algebra in class, there was too many steps. When I got to college and I took college algebra and I was able to work things out on my own and do it my own way once I got home with my books, I got an A+. But I struggled in high school because of all the steps. Life is hard, right? That was the belief. Life is hard. And my point to telling that story was that there was all this evidence that life is hard and life had to be hard. And I just noticed that I would take that into every area. It's hard to do laundry. It's hard to do the dishes. And over the years, I had found just being on to myself and timing those things and finding ways to do them that made more sense. They weren't hard anymore. But I would take it to the next thing, the next project, the next thing that needed done in my house, the next thing that needed done in my life. It's going to be hard. It's going to take forever. What are some of the other thoughts? I can't do it. These are thoughts that you might be having that are not serving you. Okay. And I've never been able to. That's one that comes up a lot. I'm not a person who. These are all the thoughts that aren't serving you. Now, also with this thought download, any of the thoughts that are making you feel awful, they're also not serving you. So what do we do about that? I want to jump back to the thought download really quick though, and just say, keep it simple. It's not a to-do list. We're not writing down the stuff we have to do. Now, if you have thoughts about the stuff you have to do in the day, absolutely write them down. Okay, so there's a difference. This is not an exercise like I do with people that are kind of in overwhelm, where I just want them to write down everything they have to do. That's this week's topic, that this past week is have to do, right? And I gave you guys a workbook or a worksheet to do the exercise that really kind of kills all the negative feelings with things you have to do. So you can look back to last week's video and see that. So questions I want you to ask about your thoughts. What makes me think this? Is it helpful? Do I want to keep thinking this? Now, I told you earlier in the video, I believe, I kind of restarted this a few times, but hopefully I told you earlier in the video, we don't want to just put a pretty thought on that. What do they say, putting lipstick on a pig? We don't want to just try to cover up that thought, like don't look at it. No, we want to look at it. We want to see if there's an underlying belief, like I had told you that mine was life is hard. We want to see if that belief is serving us. We want to consider what else we could be thinking. What I want you to do is what we're calling a ladder thought. I want you to just move in that direction. Okay, so if you're thinking something like, it's hard to do the dishes. I don't know why the dishes are always, because everybody I see, the dishes are a problem. In all the groups, I know they were for me once upon a time. I remember my husband helping me with them because I just got so behind. And it's so not a problem anymore that I kind of laugh that that's like the go-to one I do. Doing the dishes is hard. Is that serving me? Is that making me want to do the dishes? No, that's going to make me feel things like dread, right? And what are my actions? I'm going through the model with you. Dishes are the circumstance. The thought is doing the dishes is hard. My feeling is dread. And then my actions are going to be what? If I'm dreading doing the dishes, I'm not going to want to do them. I'm going to probably do a lot of things instead of doing the dishes. I'm not going to check into reality on how long it actually takes me to do the dishes. If I set a timer, it probably takes me 10 minutes if I actually just do them every day, right? There's all kinds of things that you're doing or not doing because of that thought and because of that feeling, right? And then it's going to get you a result. If you're feeling dread about doing the dishes, you're probably not going to do them, and that's going to be your result, right? So what I want you to do is have a ladder thought. And it could be a thought like, I'm starting to learn to do the dishes more efficiently. You could start today, right? But how does that make you feel? I'm starting to learn to do the dishes more efficiently. Probably a little bit better, right? You notice how it's not a beautiful thought like, I get the dishes done every day, no problem. We're not there yet. I can do at least 10 dishes. I can do dishes for 5 minutes. These are just thoughts that are getting us in the right direction. Does that make sense? The reason they call it a ladder is because we're kind of jumping to the next ladder, getting in the direction we want to get. So that is the exercise that I want you to do here. Like I said, in the workbook, which you'll find in the description or in this week's blog post, each week what I'm doing is taking a topic, I'm writing a blog post about it, I'm doing a video, and then that's going to be my IG live for that week. And it'll be a little bit of a different take no matter where you are getting the content. So if you watch this video and you want more information, check out the blog post. If you watch this video and you want more information, follow me on Instagram and check out my live that week. Or you can join the Facebook group. I usually make sure the content that's on Instagram gets into the Facebook group as well. So wherever you're comfortable, but each one of these different things is going to just kind of take it from a different angle. All right, so let's give another example. That will take forever. That's one we get stuck in a lot. It's going to take forever. Oh no. And then we just look at that thought. Okay, is it serving me? No, it's not. It's not making me feel good about the thing I need to do, right? Is it helpful? Nope, it's not. What makes me think this? Well, what might make you think that is maybe the last time you did the task, you had put it off for a long time and it ended up being a really big job. What I really want to encourage you guys to do here is really get into habits and routines where you are doing things every day and it's not taking a big effort. We really want to get rid of that. We don't want difficulty with all these things that we're doing. That's what we're going to do, a ladder over to a better thought. If you have questions, put them in the comments. I know a lot of the comments that I get turned into videos. I have my content calendar. I get really good comments and questions, and it always makes me think, oh, that's a video. So comment below if you have any questions or if you have anything you need more clarification on. If I can help you in any way, I'm glad to do that. All right. You are always welcome to book a call with me. What I do is 30-minute sessions, and it is free mini coaching sessions. And I say mini coaching, but a lot of my clients choose to do 2 30-minute sessions a week. And so it's an actual coaching call, and we can work on anything that you would like to work on there. All right. Okay. Thank you. I will see you guys next week. I'm excited. I'm showing up every week. It's awesome. All right. Take care.